Pretty Nerdz. 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 Pretty Nerdz.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Pretty Nerdz podcast. This is your girl Nay. Falan DeAnn is out this week, but she will be returning either next week or the week after that. First and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to all of the mothers, stepmothers, bonus moms, neighborhood moms, just all the moms in general. Happy Mother's Day to you. We just passed that, at the time of recording, it was still Mother's Day. So needless to say, we can always give a shout out to the moms. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, regardless of the quote unquote title that you hold. We appreciate all of you for all of the things that you do for all of us. I also want to kind of start the show out really quickly with a couple of sad notes. We lost quite a few legends this week. So big rest in power to Andre Harrell, the founder of Uptown Records. Pretty much he brought us everything from Diddy to New York Undercover. Just a really big hip hop legend out there. So rest in power to him, and prayers and condolences to his family. We also got to send out a big rest in power to Little Richard. Basically, as we all know, he founded rock and roll and was stolen from him from Elvis Presley. He basically created so many big hits, a whole entire movement. So again, big rest in power to Little Richard, and prayers and condolences to his family as well. And also another legend that we lost, Miss Betty Wright. Again, man, it's just been a tough week for us. We've been losing quite a few legends. Again, prayers and condolences to her family. A big rest in power to Miss Betty Wright. Yeah, I mean, just so many legends that we have lost this week. So just salute to their families, prayers and condolences. And let's go ahead and move on from those sad notes, and let's give a couple of happy notes. Congratulations are in order for Kevin Hart and Aniko Hart. They announced that they are expecting a quarantine baby. They're expecting a baby girl. So congratulations to them. I'm going to say a maybe congratulations to Iggy Azalea and Playboy Cardi. Rumor has it that they welcomed a baby boy, I want to say last week or something of that other, either last week or the week before that. So maybe congratulations to them, because it was never confirmed whether she was officially pregnant or not. But rumors are that that she was pregnant and they did welcome a baby boy. So congratulations to them, maybe. If it's true or not, who knows? Also, let me see, in really, really quick news, congratulations to Issa Rae and the cast of Insecure. HBO has announced that they have been renewed for season 5. As we know, they are currently at mid-season, so they got about 4 more episodes to go before season 4 ends, and then they will, whenever season 5 will occur. Hopefully it won't be as long of a wait as we did for season 4, but you never know. Needless to say, congratulations to Issa Rae and the cast of Insecure for their renewal for season 5 on HBO. We'll see how many more seasons they go, because I don't know. Most of the shows I've seen on HBO, they only go, Ballers went for, I want to say, 4 or 5 seasons themselves, maybe 6. So we'll see how many more seasons she goes. I mean, Issa Rae has been getting considerably more and more busy. Just the big reason that she took such a break between season 3 and season 4. So we'll see how much more, how many more seasons we get of Insecure. I don't really know how much interest. I think you guys have been getting on Issa's nerves, so I don't know how much more interest she has as far as seasons go in telling that whole story. So we'll see. But I definitely feel like we may get maybe a season 6, and that'll probably be it. We'll see, though. I don't know. We'll see how long Issa decides to take it. But nonetheless, congrats to them for their renewal and all of that. So that is pretty much it as far as kind of like the newsy news type stuff. Let's kind of jump into the mess a little bit. Tekashi 6ix9ine, as we all know, he was released early from prison due to the coronavirus, and apparently he was moved to the Hamptons. That's where he was located. Some fangirl or whatever apparently saw him taking pictures on the balcony and decided to post the video like an idiot. So more than likely he will be relocated from there, but nonetheless, that's where he was located when he decided to do his first Instagram live or YouTube live, whatever, on Friday. Did huge numbers. I mean, for all the people who was saying they wasn't going to be dealing with him, they wasn't rocking with Tekashi, blah, blah, blah. He broke all kind of Instagram, IG records, did huge numbers, broke YouTube records. I mean, people are clearly interested still in Tekashi 6ix9ine for whatever reason. So, yeah, needless to say, there's also reports now coming out that he may possibly be signing with Roc Nation. So, that's an interesting turn of events because I know that a lot of folks who are signed with Roc Nation currently ain't really rocking with Tekashi like that. We shall see, how that whole thing goes. But that is the current rumor now that he is going to be signing with Roc Nation. So, yeah. I mean, for all those people who talked all of that mess about how they wasn't going to be rocking with him and fooling with him, needless to say, he's back and doing all kind of numbers. So, yeah. And more than likely getting a deal with Roc Nation. So, we shall see how that whole thing plays out or whatnot. Yeah. Hey, it ain't my thing. I never was a Tekashi fan. You guys know that wasn't that's not my scene. So I don't really care for the music or whatnot. But hey, if he can come back out and make the coins, then I mean, that's y'all. I don't really have too much more to say as far as the whole Tekashi thing goes, but it is what it is. I guess good luck to him. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Moving on from that, let me see what other news we got going on here. There's not really, as you guys know, hasn't really been too much popping off. Jilly from Philly and Miss Badu, they did a versus battle. You guys know that we've been covering in, all these shows, pretty much all the versus battles that's been going on. This week we got Jilly from Philly and Miss Badu, and they broke all the numbers, honey. The previous record was set by Babyface and Teddy Riley, and they just my girls just went in there and smashed that record to pieces, put on a whole vibe for everybody, basically. Did an incredible job, and I just love to see how you can get two women so accomplished, so amazing. They were so respectful, appreciative of each other, just vibing as sisters. I love to see it. It was a beautiful thing. So salute to Jilly from Philly and Miss Badu for basically putting on a show for us all, and just being a whole vibe, man. It was definitely good energy all around that entire battle, which is why I think it did such good numbers, because people just enjoy that good energy that comes from those two amazing women. So love to see it all the way around. The next versus battle is scheduled already. It will take place between Luda, Chris, and Nelly. I'm, for one, am excited for that one as well. I want to see it. It's definitely going to be a good battle. I want to see, because Ludacris, it's definitely an interesting battle too, because Nelly has a lot of really, really commercially successful records. Ludacris has a lot of dope records as well, but I don't know if he had quite the commercial success. I could be completely wrong about this, but I'm just trying to think about like Luda's big records and then like comparing them to Nelly's big records. And I'm like, Nelly's might have had just like a little bit more of like the commercial success, but I definitely feel like Luda had a lot more of like the street records and street success. I also feel like Ludacris really benefited from the era of the video, because we all know when it came to visuals, he was just incredible with that. So I think that also made that also made like when it comes to like the battle itself, because you're only getting to see the two of them and just hear them play the records, it's going to be like you have to really think, because like a lot of Luda's records, they just was made even more dope by the visuals that he did. So it'll be interesting to see nonetheless. I'm excited for it. Like I said, they both got some good bops, so I'll be up in there right there with all y'all. So I'm excited for that one. So basically, Versus has really been doing their thing. They've been giving us some really good battles, some really, just some good things to look forward to during this whole little quarantine thing. Also, as we see in all these states kind of slowly opening back up and getting back to, I guess, whatever is going to be presumed as normal. We shall see. As we know, we're not going to be getting any type of like big live concerts or festivals or anything like that for quite some time. So, it's good to kind of see kind of different alternatives that we've been able to kind of have now with this Versus thing being created, and we're seeing a lot more artists and things of that nature getting more creative and interactive with their fans. So nonetheless, I'm excited for the Nelly and Luda Versus battle. We shall see how that one goes. It's definitely going to be interesting. It's going to be really good. I'm excited, just because we get to see some different, some Southern artists represent. So I'm excited for it. I like to see it. I guess kind of getting a little bit more into like news out of kind of like the whole celebrity realm. As we all, became aware of or kind of know of, Ahmaud, I'm not going to totally mispronounce his last name. I think it's Arbery. He was shot and killed. He was out for a run. Black man, unarmed, just out running, minding his business. And he was targeted and then shot and killed. More details now are starting to come out about the situation. As we, found out, this situation took place back in February, and now here we are in May, and we're just now even getting arrest. It's and that's important to note, because the police, the DA, all of that, they had all of the information since February. As more details are coming out, we're finding out that it was one of the DAs who she basically, in essence, was, in my opinion, was protecting the killers, basically, and in deciding not to pursue it. Nonetheless, it took someone actually releasing the video, which I didn't watch, and I know a lot of people didn't watch, because it's just not, like, I'm just not here to see our folks being out here getting shot and killed. Like, I don't have the stomach, mind, any of that for it. I can't. It's not something that I want to see. It's not something that I ever want to get used to seeing. So, but needless to say, after the video was released, that's in essence, I guess, what really, really put pressure on them to go through and make the arrests that were made. So we saw that the two killers were arrested. Hopefully, that's the first step. Hopefully, justice will be served as it should be, and they will, get the maximum sentence that they deserve. I also am hearing that the person who shot the video, even though he is behind his lawyer feigning innocence, saying that he had nothing to do with the situation, he just was shooting the video. There are reports that he is a person of interest and he may also face charges. I, for one, think that I don't buy that he was just shooting the video or like he was a bystander. There are a lot of kind of reports and things out there floating that he's friends with the other guys and, that basically he was in on the situation. So I'm hoping that justice is served all the way around because it's just horrendous and horrible. And honestly, being Black in America, every single day, you just get tired of seeing these type of stories, hearing these type of things. And it just, there are no wars at all at this point. It's just troubling all the way around and sad all the way around. Nonetheless, rest in power to Ahmaud's. His birthday was recently, and so, a lot of runners out there took to running 2.23 miles for Ahmaud. So, salute to everybody for really kind of understanding and, coming up with that idea, because again, he was just out running, minding his business. I'm also seeing a lot of Black folks out there, holding people accountable. There are a lot of people out there who say that they are allies, but when the time comes, they never seem to really be quote unquote allies. And there's a lot of people who are kind of calling out on them and saying, hey, if you're truly an ally, be an ally and speak up. This isn't just a Black issue. This is a human being issue. Black people are human beings and deserve to be treated as such. And if you are truly an ally, then you need to speak up and speak out just like we do, So needless to say, we'll be following this pretty closely and, as more details emerge and, as court cases and things of that nature come up, hopefully, like I said, we will see the justice system for once play out correctly and these men get what they ultimately deserve and, get their maximum sentencing. So taking a look, that looks like everything that I have for hot topics this week. Oh, final hot topic, jumping out of the seriousness for a minute. Your boy, Future, child, he decided to, for Mother's Day, get on Beyonce's internet and shout out his many baby mamas for Mother's Day. Noticeably, there were a few that were missing, obviously, including the one that's been all over. I guess it was his last one, Eliza Reign, who's been all over the internet with him because she's the only one who pretty much has shown that she has the balls to kind of stand up to him and take his ass to court and say, nah, you're going to provide like you're supposed to. Nonetheless, she was missing from the shout out, but he did seem to, I guess, the ones that are more cooperative with him, I don't know, gave them their shout outs or whatnot. But yeah, it just really reaffirmed the trashness that is Future, seeing the shout outs. I mean, in one of his little shout outs, he didn't even name Sis by name. He just, in essence, almost wrote her off as just like a side. No, listen, y'all. Future is just trash. As toxic as they come. I don't understand the appeal when it comes to him, especially now knowing how he is and when it comes to these babies. Look, needless to say, there will be some more women who ultimately sign up for the same situation. I personally want to know, though, when does it get to the point where men are kind of held a little bit accountable for their penises, and it's like, okay, at this point you're like a serial impregnator. You know what I mean? Like, you should have to the way that they always try to force and say that women, should have to get abortions and blah, 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 and all of that because they were sleeping with him and they knew how he was and yada, yada, yada. When does it become like the opposite? Like, okay, you're a serial impregnator and you should have to get a vasectomy. Like, you shouldn't be able to put women through as much as you're putting women through. I'm just saying. I want to see some reverse on him because he's just pure trash and toxic. But nonetheless, future being future. That's all I can say. That, for me, is going to wrap up the hot topics for this week. And I am going to go ahead and now move into the relationship portion of the week. For relationships, I do have a relationship question, the relationship question of the week. And this one basically comes from, just watching this season of Insecure and looking at Molly and Issa's relationship, and then Molly's relationship with Andrew. And it seems like that Molly has been really, I guess, more invested in communicating and really working at her relationship with Andrew. But when it comes to her friendship with Issa, it's almost like it's not as much of a priority to communicate properly, to really work on and essentially prioritize that relationship. So the relationship question for this week is, do you place your relationship with your significant other above the other relationships in your life? Like, is it more of a priority to make that work than to, the other relationships in your life? So my response to that is no. I think that all relationships are important to you as a person and as a human being, whether it's family, friends, relationship with your significant other, the relationships that you have with your children, if you have children, you know what I mean? Just the relationships that you have with people you work with, just all of those things play a big, important part in your development as a human being and as a person. So I just think that it's important that you should, prioritize all of those things. Obviously, at different stages in your life, different things are going to become, more important depending on what the current focus of your life is. But I think that just looking at again, pulling from the Insecure situation with Molly and Issa's relationship and then her relationship with Andrew, I think that it's important that, especially as women, because sometimes we do tend to get really caught up in relationships and like being hardcore as far as trying to make that be the number. Like, I have to be 100% solely focused on that, because I think it also comes back to some of, the societal pressures of, on women of, oh, you have to be married at a certain age, or you have to have kids by a certain age, and all of this and that. If you don't, then it somehow makes you less of a woman, So I think that sometimes when we get to thinking, basically when we get in our head and we start to think about all of those things, we tend to put so much kind of pressure and stock into our relationships with our significant others, because again, we're feeling all of those societal pressures of like, okay, I gotta get engaged and I gotta get married and I gotta, have babies and I gotta do this and I gotta do that because, that's what makes me a woman and blah, 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 blah. And, that as we know, that is not the case. We as women are not solely defined by our ability to be, with a man and, be married and have children. There are so many more layers to us than just our ability to reproduce and be with the man. But I think that a lot of that can come to play. And so that's maybe why you see a lot of times that when women do get in relationships, they tend to let other relationships fall to the wayside. And so I just think that it's important that we really, at least in my opinion, I think it's really important that you find a balance. And obviously, like I said, at different points, more focus is gonna go somewhere else. You know what I mean? It may be on your relationship with your man. If y'all are having issues, then more focus may go there. But if you're having issues with your friendship, then your priority should go there as well. Because again, that is a relationship that's in your life. It's important to have in your life. It makes you a well-rounded human being. So you should also place some focus there and be able to, like I said, find some kind of balance in your life that never should just be solely this one relationship and that's all I give a damn about, and that's my main focus, and that's got to work before, you know what I mean? So, but nonetheless, I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you guys think per usual. So make sure you visit the website, prettynerdspodcast.com. Give me your comments, thoughts on this week's relationship question. Also, you can always give, suggestions or on topics that you want us to talk about here on the podcast, as well as any relationship questions that you may have and that you want to see us answer. At this point, that is all I have for relationships this week. Let's go ahead and move into new music, books, TV, and all of that jazz. And this portion is just going to be really, really, really quick because I haven't really listened to any of, the new stuff that has dropped. I'm always really late as far as when it comes to just listening to music, unless it's just something that I absolutely want to hear. But we did get a lot of music that dropped within the last, I want to say last two to 3 weeks. Obviously we got new music from Drake. He dropped a lot of the singles that basically they've been out for a while. They've been leaked or whatever like that. He just put together a quick little mixtape and he dropped that last week. From what I'm hearing, it's got pretty good reviews or whatnot. So I actually haven't listened to it yet. I'll get around to it at some point, but it's got pretty good reviews. I'm hearing a lot of people saying that they like it. They really enjoyed it. So, obviously, if you're a Drake fan or you just want to listen to some pretty good music, go out and check that out. We got a remix to Savage with Meg Thee Stallion and Beyonce that everybody is obviously loving. We got a remix from Doja Cat with Nicki Minaj to Say So that everybody is, loving. Apparently those two records are battling out for number one. And as I am recording this, more than likely the charts will drop at some point and we'll get the answer to which one of those records will be going number one. But at this moment in time, the chart hasn't came out yet, so I have no idea which one will go number one, but it is projected. I'm going to say projected because I don't know, but the rumors or whatever a lot of them are saying is that it will actually be Doja Cat and Nicki's Say So that goes number one. So, but we shall see. Either way, we all win. Four amazing women battling it out. Whoever goes number one, excited for them. Either way, great feat for us as women to see four amazing, beautiful, powerful women out there at the top of their game doing their thing. So love to see it all the way around. Also, we got new music from Kehlani. She dropped an album. There's new music that's coming out or that came out from I want to say, is it Little Baby? I think it's Little Baby. Shit, listen, y'all know Y'all know I get them damn. They all have so many, like, the baby, little baby. Oh, look, I get them confused, but I think it was Little Baby who dropped, because he dropped the same day. Like, I think it was like an extended version he dropped when Drake dropped. So, nonetheless, y'all out there probably know better than I do with that whole situation. But yeah, tons of new music that came out. So tons of different things for people to go out and check out and listen to. So just salute to all of the artists who are out there working and being creative, especially during this time. We love to see it. Thank you guys for giving us something to listen to and check out while we are, quarantining and trying to find ways to get back to normal everyday life. So lastly, because, I have nothing else to cover. This was a very, very quick episode, but let me go ahead and, before I get out of here, give you guys the nerd moment of the week. This one is just a big kind of like, I want to say hug or shout out to the amazing, amazing Black women of DC. A lot of the DC actresses from DCTV came together and they did a big Zoom meeting, and they posted it on their respective social media accounts. Just basically, first and foremost, talking about the murder of Ahmaud and how that impacted them and affected them, but just also making it, aware that, hey, they all communicate and they all talk about the racism that they, as Black actresses in the comic world and sci-fi world, as Black actresses, who play love interests in these worlds or get quote unquote roles that they believe that we as Black women should not play. Just really kind of addressing some of the racism that they have experienced and just how all of that is affecting them. Big shout out to them for even just using their platform to address it and shed light, not only to the to Ahmaud's murder, but also to what they are experiencing, because I think that that's an important conversation to have as well. Because, we all know, if you as people who are fans of comics and, anime and just sci-fi and fantasy in general, we all know that it's not a very accepting world to people of color at all, period. And especially in the comic world, their biggest excuse is that, we just want it to be comic accurate, blah, blah, blah. Basically, that's their undercover excuse for their racism. I just don't want we just don't want Black people in none of the shit that we have going. Just all white faces, but whatever. But like I said, big salute to them for using their platforms, coming out, speaking about it, because obviously it's not something that they have to do, but just the fact that it's important enough to them to kind of speak out. So salute to the amazing, amazing women of DC. We appreciate you guys. We obviously love you. So salute to those sisters for basically just stepping up and, like I said, using their platform for something so positive and so amazing. So taking a look at my little list here, that is all that I have for the show this week. Like I said, super quick, super to the point. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure Falan DeAnn will be back next week. And hopefully we have some more topics for you guys. Because, like I said, I know that this quarantine has been a little rough on us because there just hasn't been as much to cover with everybody kind of on lockdown. But we're doing our best for you guys out there. As always, I appreciate you guys for listening every week, tuning in with us here on the Pretty Nerdz podcast. Again, make sure you hit the website, prettynerdspodcast.com. Shoot us an email, prettynerdspodcast@gmail.com. Also, make sure you're following us on all of our social sites for any exclusive content. The YouTube channel, make sure you're subscribed. You get more in-depth videos with me and Falan DeAnn. We also have a blog on the website. So, just some quick think pieces and things like that to just kind of give you guys as much content as we can. So, again, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy your week. Bye, guys.